Welcome to our special coverage of the Noor Salman trial here on clickorlando.com. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Day 2 of testimony is underway, and we just learned that jurors were shown surveillance video of the moment Omar Mateen opened fire inside Pulse nightclub. They also listened to a crisis negotiator talk with Mateen. Here's a little piece of that.
So tell me what happened tonight. How did this go down for you?
This went down. A lot of innocent women and children are getting killed in Syria and it all in Afghanistan, okay?
I understand that. You're upset about the bombing in Syria and Afghanistan, and you want the bombing and the killing to stop. I understand your concern. I share that concern. I want to pass your message along. Tell me what else you'd like me to pass along, please.
To stop. Tell them to stop.
Well, the crisis negotiator then continues to try to get Mateen to leave Pulse and go talk with officers outside, but Mateen eventually hangs up the phone on the negotiator. Let's go ahead and bring in News 6's Nadine Yanis. She has been in the courtroom for this trial. She joins us now live from the federal courthouse in Orlando. So, Nadine, jurors have gotten a chance to see a lot of new evidence here.
A lot of new evidence, Kirsten. That jury walking in at 9:05 this morning and within 5 minutes seeing some of the most disturbing video that we've ever seen come out of the Pulse nightclub attack, including what the government calls the Pulse timeline video. This shows every step of Mateen that he had at Pulse leading up all the way until when he dies in the end. Now, we don't have that video shown in court, but we have old OPD evidence photos that were already released that takes us through the steps we saw Mateen through that surveillance video. So the video started with him walking into the front of the club, and you can see when Mateen walks in, he buys a ticket, he goes inside and then goes to the bar. The camera then cuts to an overhead shot of Mateen in the main room. Mateen highlighted in the corner of the screen near the bar area where he orders a drink and for 13 minutes watches the club goers. Many, including couples, are seen dancing, some spinning each other around on the dance floor, laughing, enjoying their night out. And that's when the video cuts to where Mateen parked his rented van at the car detailing shop next door. It was only about a minute later that the video cuts to Mateen walking back into the club. Now, those same people that were seen dancing in the video before were the same people in the shot that we saw again as Mateen walks in and starts firing shots. This group of people running out, and it looks like as if they just stopped and dropped to the floor. It was horrific as we watched this unfold. You then continue to see Mateen calmly walking around the club, through the club, firing as he goes, even firing at bodies that were on the floor, huddled together and, trying to hold on to each other during this horrific video. After they showed this video, the bomb technician that was on the stand taking us through this video also talked about the breach at the wall, which we saw on video, and then he talked about why they were concerned about explosives, and that's when they showed pictures of Mateen's body. Now, these pictures were released earlier in some hearings, so we have these pictures. We've blurred them. In them, you could see Mateen's body in a pile of rubble. You also saw the 2 guns that he had with him, including a Glock and that Sig Sauer MCX. Noor Salman turned her head around, making sure that she did not see these videos. It's important to note that in a hearing earlier when these pictures were shown, it just popped up and she cried before. So it seems like she knew that these pictures were going to be shown again. She turned her head away from it. But during that Pulse timeline video, which was horrific, she was grabbing tissue after tissue, obviously crying. The jurors absolutely glued to every second of this horrific video. I want to bring in our News 6 legal expert, Mark O'Mara. We've been talking a lot about seeing this video. Let's start with Noor Salman's reaction to this. The jurors have to be watching her.
Well, they're watching her because she's on stage. Every second that they're not looking at a video, they're looking at her. And the reason why is because we're all human and we want to know what's going on inside her head, and until we see or hear it, we're going to look at it. So her reaction, whether it's smiling or not smiling or crying or a non-reaction, all of that's going to be very relevant to a jury who's trying to figure out who she is.
And let's talk about this video. horrific. It was graphic. Obviously tugged at a lot of our emotions. This is stuff the defense has fought for a long time. They did not want the government to belabor this point during this trial.
Let's analyze it from a legal perspective, the relevance of it, because evidence is only coming in front of a jury if it's relevant. So what's it relevant to? The relevance it sort of has is this is aiding and abetting a terrorist organization. So the government is given the right to show exactly what, in effect, a terrorist organization is. And this is terror. But I think they have to be very careful, because this jury is also going to be told at the end of this they are supposed to set aside emotions. They're not supposed to be prejudiced or biased for any particular reason, apply the law to the facts. And the government's got to be careful, because so far in the last couple of days, we've seen nothing but emotion. We haven't heard Miss Salman's name being mentioned. We haven't heard one effort that she's taken so far. So they get the benefit of laying their foundation. They just need to be careful how much they do.
As a defense attorney, would you be worried about the jurors being exposed to this graphic of video?
Without question, because it's tugging, as you say, at their heartstrings. These jurors are looking at this, realizing the devastation that was placed upon the individuals, upon the community, and at the hands of Mateen. So there's no, I would be limiting it, I would be objecting, which is what the defense is doing. And quite honestly, I would ask the jury at the end of all this, in closing arguments, why the government thought it was necessary to throw in so much emotion when nobody's arguing that what he did was a terrorist act. The question really for the jury to consider is, was she aware of it, and did she do something in furtherance of it?
And that's going to be their decision in the end, with this trial about to take 3 weeks. We're only on day 2. A lot of evidence being released already. So we're going to toss it back to you, Kirsten. There was a lot of physical evidence released today. We should be expected to see some of that tomorrow. The courts are planning to release it 24 hours after it's shown in court.
All right, Nadine Yanis reporting live for us. Nadine, I know we spoke with Mark earlier about all of that evidence, and I know that there's going to be more to come in the coming days. We just don't know what it is until the next day. Thanks so much. And because this is a federal trial, no cameras or recording devices are permitted inside the courtroom. News 6 and ClickOrlando.com will have reporters at the trial every day. We have a special page detailing everything that happens on ClickOrlando.com. Just look for the Noor Salman tab. And you can join us tonight at 6:30 for another discussion with News 6 anchor Matt Austin, investigator Mike DeForest, and legal analyst Mark O'Mara. You can watch it live right here on ClickOrlando.com. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.